So, back out with RB again, and we are on a Vespa ET4. Now this one came in as a recovery. There was two, and both with consecutive number plates as well. So the private owner, first one was a 2-stroke, this one is a 4-stroke, and they've both come in as non-running vehicles. First one we absolutely ramped through it, got it all done, serviced, redone, tyres all done, and did it within about a week. This one's been with us for about 3-4 weeks. Came as a non-runner, been stood for absolutely ages. No idea how long it had been stood, but it had been stood for quite a long time. And obviously the first thing on anything's been stood is a full tank drain. So it had a tank drain and flush. Then they got into the engine and obviously checked the carb out before we get any further. Also had issue with the tyres weren't sealing to the bead. So we've done the tyres, and we've had the carb out. Now when that carb first came out, the carb was absolutely, and to put it as an understatement, to say it was mullered. Bright green fluid in the bottom of the carb. And obviously technicians cleaned it, but this green fluid was just stuck all to the bottom of the float bowls. Couldn't figure out what it was. And I said the easiest way is to taste it. Ugh, really? Dip my finger in it, very oily. Had a little taste of it, that's 2-stroke oil in that. Really? I said it tastes like 2-stroke oil. It's green, it tastes like 2-stroke oil, or there's some sort of oil residue in the bottom of the carbs. And obviously Sonic cleaned it, cleaned all the carb, we put it all back together, put some fresh fuel through it, replaced all the fuel lines because they were absolutely gummed to the hilt. Done all that, and the bike fired up. Yes, got the engine warm, and then we did the service on it. Come to the ride test, and obviously as soon as you gave it any welly or the slightest bit of throttle, the engine bogged down. Carb issue. And we knew that we might have an issue with the carb, but obviously as a running bike, first thing we did was, right, just ramp through it, let's get it over across to the MOT tester. MOT tested it, found a few other little issues that were all sorted, but obviously it was just a running issue on the engine. So out came the carb again, across to senior diagnostic technician, who went right through the carb. That's the issue, and it's the plunger. You've got a nice little rubber diaphragm and a plunger, and obviously as soon as you open it, the plunger sticks. As soon as you release it, the plunger dropped back, but the plunger was sticking. So obviously went onto all the parts websites, and nothing on the Chinese website, nothing anywhere calling to Piaggio Vespa. Sorry mate, that carburettor is discontinued. Oh bugger. So we've tried everywhere. We've been on all the marketing sites, we've been absolutely everywhere. Look at this, I can open the throttle and it goes. And obviously they brought it across to me, and I said, let's have a look at the carb. And we had a look, and I went, oh, that's quite handy. Why is that? I said, you won't believe it, but that is a 38mm Mikuni. It looks exactly the same as a 38mm Mikuni. Really? Yes. I have a habit, when we have bikes in for either dismantling, or a customer decides that, oh, I don't want to work on my bike, I'm just going to scrap it, I tend to rob the bike of absolutely everything. So coils, spark plug leads, HT caps, carburetors come off of it, anything that isn't bolted to that main engine. I tend to have what I call my little step toes cupboard of just spare parts. And I said to the boys, I said, it looks like a 38mm Mikuni to me, or very, very similar to one of the carbs that you would find on a Lexmoto. So we went off yesterday, we had a good look around the storeroom, and I came back with 4 carburetors, and lo and behold, it's a 38mm Mikuni. So it now has a 38mm Mikuni carb on it, and just look at the power you've got now. This thing absolutely flies. So yeah, it's problem sorted. The bike runs. It runs absolutely perfect, and that's a good tech team that obviously diagnosed an issue, found the problem. Right, this is what we need. But it's just a shame that you can't get parts. And obviously we know a lot of the scooter boys that come in, and he said, oh, I might have something in my shed, I'll have a look, but we've sorted it already this morning. So obviously I'm out having a little bit of a test ride on this. But, I'm doing 40 mile an hour, and obviously I'm staying local to the garage just in case worst case scenario happens and it doesn't want to run. But I'm already 2 miles in. Bike is running like a diamond, absolutely perfect. Happy days. Let's just give it some. Look at that. She rolls. So obviously we've done quite a full big restore on this one, because obviously customers are like, oh god, I've got to buy a carb. Now a carb, normally if you're looking at a Vespa carb, you're looking about 100 quid. Mikuni carb, probably around about the sort of 60 quid mark. Decent one. So he saved himself a bit of money there. Excuse me. Oh, dry weather. So just running this around one more time. This is just going to be a quick test ride just to show that this bike is working for the owner, and obviously the boys can watch this video back and go, yep, RB, she runs, it does. Brakes are all good, pulls up like a sixpence, suspension is all good, and happy days. That's another bike gone, one less to push in and out every morning. Currently running around about 60 bikes. We had a delivery of 12 Lexmotos yesterday. I've got 6 Titans in, 2 more Michigans, 4 more LXRs and 2 more LXSs. I am running out of room, and obviously my ciphers are due to come in soon. So we shall have a little bit of fun trying to find room to stack all those in the workshop. I've got crates everywhere, but all the dealers are starting to get their bikes now. But let's have one more high-speed run. This has only done 1,577 miles, but look at that, 45 mile an hour ride test mileage. Yes, these will go a lot faster, but as I always say, customer's bike. I'm not riding this one like I've stolen it, and I do love these little old Vespa scooters, very, very retro. I never was a scooter lover, but I love these. I could sit on one of these all day and just roll around, but she runs absolutely perfectly. Corner's great, does the job. So back to the garage with this one. Now obviously we're getting a lot of work coming in, people saying, oh, I've got a non-running bike, it's been stood for a while. We're currently about a week or 2 weeks out at the moment on anything that is non-running, just due to the fact that technicians are completely stacked out with new bikes and old bikes. But this one's running like a dream. I'm going back to finally have my cup of coffee. I've not had it yet. Don't even had a chance to have a cigarette. Hence the dry throat. One more final burst of speed, and last time that was bogging down when you did that. No issues whatsoever. Well done to the boys at Eclipse Motorcycles, sorted that one out. And of course RB and his little Steptoe's backyard of bike parts. I've got so many bike parts. I've got stuff for old Lexmotos that have been discontinued. So if you are stuck for a part, give the team at Eclipse Motorcycles a call. I've probably got one in Steptoe's locker, as I call it. And if you don't know who Steptoe is, go watch a couple of their videos. There's some great stuff on YouTube, Steptoes and Sons. That tends to be my second name, RB, otherwise known as Steptoe the Hoarder. But I hoard everything, bolts, brackets, everything. So you never know when you're going to need a bolt of a certain size or a bracket or a carb. And I've just proved the point with this one. So thank God that I've got some decent carbs or some new carbs in my stock room. But rod test over. As always, guys, be well, ride safe, and on the ET4, all running and ready to go back to the customer, it's a big goodbye from me.